So, I think that being gay and transgender is a lot about being liberated enough. These fucking in politics are killing me, bro. Being liberated enough to sort out and participate in what makes you feel like you're having fun and gives you enjoyment. And that's ultimately such a human thing. It's more the bad side of humanity that judges and attacks that. So that's why I wanted to start this video, to keep my thoughts on track. Let me find something to prop up my phone. So I'm transgender. I'm attracted to like it doesn't matter what gender you are. That's pansexual. I really got into this stuff when I was like in probably early 6th grade or right before that, because it was a part of having to discover who I was, and I was going through puberty and stuff, so it was kind of necessary to help navigate that for who I am, you know, because it was more complicated than just being straight and stuff. It was probably as complicated as it can get with everything being said about who I am. But I also wanted to start this video out with kind of mentioning a band and artists that have other bands. But in that time, like right as 6th grade was starting, or right before that, like I found this band, Hunks and His Punks. You know, I think in an interview he said it, like, the band isn't necessarily about being gay. I think he said something like that, and like something like but it what's the fucking word? But it's good for publicity or some shit, or so, I don't know. I don't remember. I might be just like straight up making shit up, but like they're my favorite. All of their interviews, they have one with that funny guy. Who's that funny guy? That interviews everybody that does music. Nardwar. That's like the craziest. Dude, all of their interviews, you know, you kind of gotta search it up. It's as good as the music. And, you know, they do all types of side projects and stuff. And they're so worth checking out, especially if you're gay. They're some of the best representation we have. Totally underrated. I think the first song I heard by them, it was at least in their Pink album, though, which I own. I don't know where it is in my car. I'm fucking homeless in my car. Everything's fucking everywhere, but I'm trying to like imagine the album cover to remember the name. It's in like cursive. I've listened to it countless times since then, and I couldn't tell you the fucking name of the album. That's crazy. You know, they do a cover of a Beastie Boys song. What the fuck? And you know, different people in the band have their own they have other bands and stuff, which is equally good, at least. I especially love Shannon and the Clams. That shit is killer. So check that out, and you know, check out all their shit. Check all of it out. It's all worth checking out. It's all great to roll around in Impala to now that I'm older. being gay is, or transsexual or whatever else, it's very liberating. But it's liberating when you're, I feel like there's two types of people that's always been in the community: the people that are liberated and know who they are, and the people who won't admit that they're LGBT and hate. Usually they hate on the people that are. I mean, like, we'll even assume that's the reason for people. I look so old and terrible in this lighting, I guess. A lot of people, what was I saying? A lot of people aren't even probably LGBT. They just, I don't think that they understand it because they're genuinely not. And I don't know why, but it makes them insecure. But I think usually when people are insecure, and it causes them to attack others, like what happens a lot in American history, I'll just say like that. Like, I think it's because, like, the whole negative feelings towards a person being attacked is, like, making the person feel insecure, so it's like something makes them feel like they're better than them. So there's that, and I think it can apply to hate that we get. I don't know if I need to cut that. I might leave it for now because it's greasy. But it feels kind of long. What the fuck? Okay. I'm gonna cut my hair now. But, there's the whole movement, like, I mean, even in things lesser known, like what they do in their concerts and stuff, gay bars, all that shit. It's such a positive vibe. It's almost come to a point, though, where there's so much negativity in the general community, no matter what your recreations are, that, like, I feel like it's kind of caused by the concept of us being controversial in any given way is being pushed on us so much by other people. Like the news, literally. And I feel like there's some people trying to be or in our community that are causing that, and it's a big no. I don't really know what to say about it. It's kind of weak, but I understand it. It's like a lot of people feel the need to freak out, like, when they are facing, like, hate that's targeted towards them because of something about themselves that they kind of can't help, and or like when you express something, though, and try to have pride, because pride is important, because people like us in the past, in history, have been made to feel ugly or bad, or like a defect, so pride is important, and I think that's why we're more prideful in ourselves than groups of people that haven't had to experience that, like white people and straight people that don't need to, do anything extravagant within themselves or their communities to try to even that out and make it all better. But that's how yin yang works. Like, from bad stuff, humans usually do take good. So, like, in this instance, like, just to up our spirits about having to fight for certain freedoms and stuff, like, like, it's caused us to have, like, kind of, like, a better vibe in the end, because we had something we had to bounce back from, basically. So in that way, I don't know. I don't even know what I was saying. I'm kind of stoned. Recently, I've been feeling pretty bad because I wish I had a job, and it's just hard to get a job, and it's hard to hold a job. Actually, I think it'll be easier with more motivation these days. But I don't really know how to get one that well, and I want money to be able to go to bars and actually spend an ass ton of money, like, while I'm there. Like, specifically gay bars, because I'm not even welcome in a fucking straight bars. I went to this bar that this guy Thomas took me to, and, like, it was so cool, because I was presenting as a female at the time, and I was born female, and I was with him, and he was, like, some random white guy that was just act super straight and stuff, and everything, like, so, you know, they were nice to us, but I went in there, and they didn't want to serve me because it was too late, but the bar was still open, so it's like, what the fuck? Like, the bar was open for at least another hour, and they just didn't seem like they wanted me there, so I was like, that's weird, because I went in looking like this. You know? And I had some assumptions based off of the whole scene. It was kind of Rulrick, or I don't really know. It was kind of Rulrick. Is that how you say it? Rulrick? Rustic. Maybe. I look terrible in this lighting. Hold on. What the fuck? You know, I feel, you know, another topic I want to bring up in terms of LGBT, actually, is I feel like trans gay people have it pretty bad. I feel like it gets confusing throughout your whole life, but from the start, like, when you're transgender and you also like the same sex. Because what ends up happening, from my own experience and talking to people, but from my own experience especially, when you go through puberty, like you'll think about it and have attraction to the same sex, but, like, in a gay way. So that was one of the first signs to me that I was transsexual that was super memorable. You know, because I was kind of, like, just like, what the fuck? Because when puberty hit, I would imagine myself as a guy, too. So it's confusing, especially when you, like, I didn't know what the fuck transgender was back then. I was, like, just starting 5th grade. I wasn't even in 5th grade yet. And, so it was really confusing. And it's just a lot to have to accept, you know? It's two whole different stories. If you have to be both, you know that, and you can say that too, right? Like, it's two whole separate things that you have to deal with. They're often grouped together, and they can, like, things that happen because of it can get mixed up in your head, and then you think you're a whole different story because you're just confused. It's like having two mental disorders, and they kind of meet in the middle sometimes. Like, and all types of shit, and you just, I don't know, it's just really confusing. It's really, like, and, you know, I'm speaking from, like, a guy's perspective, being transgender. I was born a female, if you still can't get that, like, me saying I'm a guy and I'm transgender. But, yeah. So, it's a really confusing, difficult life to live, and we get met with so much hate, but, like, so little sympathy. It's ridiculous. People, when it seems like it's a person, people, first of all, people assume that it's a decisions you're making, personal decisions you're making about things that you want. That's what people assume. That's what I think. And, then they just, they have, like, concern, and they're like, I don't immediately feel like this is right, and they attack you for it, or they just say things that are really hurtful and all types of shit. And before they'll, like, and that's why, like, they don't see it as, like, something that's happening to you, like, you know it is, because you're the one going through it. And so they have no sympathy for it. So, and then it's just a cycle of pain in life, because it's like, you know, nobody fucking gets it. And so they put that on you, and you also have no sympathy or any, you know, nobody wants to be nice to you. So it's kind of a hard life to live. It's kind of a hard life to live. You know? So that's the end of my complaining. Dating is also difficult. If you're either or both, whatever. It just sucks. Because, I mean, dating is such a personal thing. And it's so difficult to find somebody that, even if you were straight, I can imagine this, to be honest with you. Like, I like girls too, but I'm still transgender, so it complicates things. So, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like, how honestly likely is it that you're really gonna, like, come across somebody in your life that's gonna get along with you on a level where it's gonna work, and you're gonna be together as a couple and really know, like, the deepest parts of each other? That is fucking crazy. So you have more limited options the more LGBT you are. Honestly, the more unique you are. But you know what? Actually, this has a good ending to it. The more, I think everybody is as unique as their own fingerprint. So, honestly, I think what it really is the more uniqueness you bring out of yourself and show to the world that's already there, the more it, like, narrows who you can be with and have in your life, because there's more details about you where it discludes so many people. Like, you need to fit with me. So it's really just saving you time from wasting your time with trying to make it fit with other people, when you understand things about yourself and what makes you unique as a person, and being gay and or transsexual or other sexualities is. So that is crazy. There's a girl out there that's totally in love with me, and she's so crazy. Or I don't know what the fuck she identifies as. I'm just gonna, like, put aside everybody's words and just, I'll even say they to be hopeful. But I'm just not even gonna give you context other than that. She's totally in love with me, but she's just fucking crazy. They're just crazy, dude. They will not accept that shit, and I think it's because they won't accept something about themselves that has something to do with me. Themselves. See, another thing a lot of people that are in the community don't understand is that, like, sometimes you gotta know when to say when you're dealing with people and controversy, I guess. But, like, I don't know, we're gonna get attacked a lot. We're gonna get questions. The best thing that we can do, based off of, like, other people who have been met with controversy as a group for something that they can't help, and things that they do because of who they are and all types of shit, is you gotta like show people who don't understand you, while you knowing who you are and who your people are. Like, we know that we're good. We understand ourselves because we are ourselves as best as we can understand ourselves. So, like, most people's problems is like a lack of love in their life and a lack of feeling the ability to be free and feeling free from early childhood, probably. And like, just a lack of humanity and a lack of intelligence passed down that caused them to like not be able to have the abilities to grasp what the fuck is going on with us, because they aren't us, or they don't understand themselves and they are one of us. And this is almost partially like a rescue mission in a way, because we know it's a problem where people will be in denial and stuff. We basically got to be more patient, I think, and just try to talk to people and convince them to be cool and to actually like listen, and then literally like show them how awesome it can be to not be in the position they're in and the type of thinking they're in. And you get what I'm trying to say? I don't know if this haircut went well. I really don't. I can't really see because it's dark. Shit, the car's off. Well, I feel better after saying all that. For some reason. Look at my forehead. Ugh. That's so Chinese. I need to fix it all. Okay, so I don't really know what we can conclude with this, because I don't remember anything that I said. But I think that we should work harder to keep within our communities the core foundations of what helped us through our fight to be who we are and have the freedoms we have, which is partially inner child and like having fun and not being scared of what other people think about us, even if they think it looks ugly or bad. Even if they think it's dumb and stupid, like, fuck you, so what? It's all about embracing your inner child, you know? We can still be a child in the way that we thought, more pure as children. And it's like, if we knew about this shit as kids, like, I feel like we'd be way more down to earth about it. Like, there's no need to have, like, over-emotional reactions at all. So, we don't need to, like, put a bad name on our people. We just need to keep having fun. As long as we're within our legal rights so we can get away with it. Like... Anyway. Maybe if I turn the light on. Holy shit. An arm in him. Don't run me over. Yeah, so don't let hard times get us down is what I'm gonna say about the community. And we need to heal each other and take over more of the world to be more fun spaces and more free. And I don't see enough people being extravagant in public these days. Everybody's just kind of like, I mean, like, you just don't see that many people just in their day-to-day life, like, living it up. So that's kind of disturbing. A little bit. I look terrible. Okay, so another recommendation I have. Everybody should watch Priscilla. I think you literally have to type in either type in Australian movie or drag queen movie, because something else, like an Elvis movie, shows up otherwise. I swear to God, I could have filmed the whole video from this angle, and it would have been such a better video. So yeah, I literally was saying in a different video, America is failing because a lot of small businesses and small artists, it's unrealistic in America for us to succeed. And we have to work for other pre-established places in order to even think about getting somewhere. And I don't think it's fair. That shit looks like a skull. Yeah, I don't think it's fair. This is the land of opportunity is a way of making you see it from a specific angle to make you think specific ways about it, when really there's so many obstacles in America. And if you're born broke, you're fucked. I'm not even gonna lie. If you come here broke, you're fucked and you're not gonna be okay while you get work in order to get to a place where you can begin to succeed. So it's not as good as they promised. So America was kind of a ripoff. And it was kind of stolen. I forgot the word. But in business, how are you gonna steal somebody else's product and then remake it and then resell it to people? And it's false advertising. So that's what this country was. So hopefully we can shut it down and just take back the land and do what we want with it, because we are humans, right? We were smart enough to create everything that we have. We can set things up differently so that everybody's happier. Because I think we enjoy working and we enjoy doing things like creating clothes and makeup and cooking and building things and designing things and cutting hair. Like, people, I mean, everything that people built, like, somebody out there enjoys doing it and is kind of oppressed by the system where they're not fully able to just live their life making to the greatest ability, to their own personal greatest ability, or maybe helping people. You know, a lot of people's original passions was doctor, and even that passion kind of got crushed by the way that things work. Because I think a lot of people, they wanted to originally get into that because they were like so interested in wanting to save people from death. So we should bring that back, 2027. But yeah. But yeah, we should basically just like take everything back, especially the weed, because they're trying to regulate that now. Like, they regulate food and water. They regulate air by means of regulating the nature that creates it, and also by means of regulating things that they pour, like chemicals that they pour into the hemisphere. So they're regulating our air too. And they do make us pay for it because it's paid for in taxes. So we're actually living in the Lorax right now. Whoa, that's spooky. Oh my god, I just figured something out, I think. We're fucked. We need to get out of here. But the problem is, it can't just be small groups of people or like one person. Like, we all need to work together to make it work. We need each other. We're humans. I think I fucked this haircut up. You know, we killed our relationship with each other in our personal lives. Because, I mean, in the first place, we kind of block our own conscience out. Especially to just, like, do what feels secure. So that's why gay people and transgender people are better than everybody, for one. And anybody who's prideful in who they are that's been oppressed is better. Like, Mexicans go hard, dude. You know what I mean. Everybody does, though, because that's just how it works. Anyway, I feel like I'm starting to not make as much sense. My train of thought slowed down. I do have a little brain damage, but even that's something that can... It doesn't mean that it's life-ending. Clearly. Yeah, we're strong, we're humans, we'll survive, but like, this shit kind of needs to be ended, because it's not fair. They're telling us that the way that life works, our whole lives, they're forcing us into schools that we don't want to go to in the first place because they say it's the law. That means we're being forced against our will. We don't like it because it's a faulty school system. It's not as good as it can be, and they're robbing people because that's like basically slavery. When you make somebody work so that you take the earnings to their work, meaning you take their work. that they're doing, and you put it into something, and it's a ripoff because it's not fucking good enough. And they use it to make kids think different ways about life, because that's what teaching does, no matter what. So you gotta question, well, you can't supervise your children. You know, is the same exact government that allowed slavery that long ago, that had to be forced to not allow it. What are they making our kids' perspectives on life? Well, they teach as much as they do, that many hours every day for that many years, throughout their whole adolescence. So, remembering what I learned in school, it was a lot about what the teachers would enforce, talking about social issues every time it happened to be brought up. And it was just weird. Like that topic of paradise. Anybody else have that topic come up in the public school system in America? That paradise is not possible? A human's concept of paradise is just perfection, which would be our natural habitat. But the problem is, humans created a paradox where we take in problems that we're given, and we found a way to make it better us, because we'll solve the problems even with like advanced technology. So our idea of paradise, therefore, I don't even know. Like that initially could have been like, just, I don't know, living in a perfect natural environment where all of your basic needs are met and you're perfectly content. How the fuck is that not a possibility? But then it's also like what I was saying, it's like, technically you're so wrong that you can't tell me paradise doesn't exist, because in a way, if the best thing humans have figured out for themselves that we want to sought after, that we have collectively decided to sought after for our own enjoyment, is finding problems to solve, then would that also not be our paradise? Therefore, no matter what, we're in paradise. Or does this make no fucking sense? I look weird as hell. Cause I think of like the original way of doing that would be like pirates and like traveling in nature in different ways. Like hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago. Like just starting out, like getting out of paradise. Maybe it was caused by like some extreme event, like Atlantis or something. But then there's a problem, so you have to adapt, right? So something drew us out of our natural environment, because you gotta question things like what the fuck even was a human's like initial natural environment? Being that we have spread out through the entire world, we just managed to adapt to everything in like different ways where we solve problems and like invent things. Like even this bandana and like the folding, like how you can like fold a bandana in different ways, that shit is crazy. Though, like, it's just like the idea of like adventure. You know, that had to have been the most fun thing, basically, what I was imagining about what I was saying. Like, how could you have more fun than just being free enough to have the means to make deals with other people, or do stuff with nature, so that you can like build stuff and just like explore the world and survive like in different ways, because you're learning, and therefore like knowing and better and creating and solving problems that would be like obstacles in your way. It sucks. What sucks to me is that like you can't even do that anymore, because I feel like the whole world's been taken over by what is it? What's a word? Industrialism. The whole world's been taken over by industrialism. So now all there is like farms and parks, regulated nature zones where it still is allowed to exist, and then we have a bunch of concrete and buildings. That is not balanced. That is not fucking balanced. You know? It's just not. It's not fair that they're keeping all the animals in cages. They're supposed to be allowed to have most of the room to roam free. They just put them in like little plots of land, and the really insulting thing is, you know how they put animals on plots of land? They do that to the Native Americans too. They just designated them little plots of land like they do for animals. So that's my point of view on it. So I really, really, really want the American government to give the land back to the people, especially the Native Americans, because guess what I think that it means that they have the system the way that they do like that. And are those people okay that came from the Native Americans by generations? The Native Americans now? No, their reputation is stuff like alcoholism and living in trailers and not having enough money and fighting and stuff in the families. That's literally what I've heard. And just like not the highest quality of life, because they took the natives' land and they wouldn't allow them to live in a way that they could like bruh like I don't even know. I feel like people can figure this out for themselves though, and I'm out of breath. I'm out of breath. It's just upsetting to me. They should have all of the land. Do you remember what happened? Like, they teach it in school. Like, the land was violently ripped from their great-great-great-great-great-grandparents. Like, this is horrific. So this video was for gay people. So if you're gay, we need to actually focus on helping with this cause too, and ask for support in return, I would say. I feel like it's written in history still, and colonizers had such a way of erasing history that this might be a thing where it's like written in history still, though, that Native Americans literally had transgender people. Like, they had LGBT people, LGBT, I feel like Q people. My haircut's so complete. I'll have to do it tomorrow when the sun's out. Wow. Yeah. Basically, though. We gotta tell all the people that have the money that are white, go back to England. Tell them that shit. You know what we should do? If we can only get so many people to help, it should be a fundraiser to like like come together as a huge community to buy into really really rich neighborhoods to invade the people that are trying to run this, and government people and basically rich people, because their bloodlines did this, because white people made a system where they passed money down in their families. So let's just invade them and their lives. Even if it takes an army, we can buy a house in their neighborhoods. I look fucking like I'm 14 years old. I don't have enough money for dinner tonight. And part of the reason that led my life to being like this is problems caused by the fact that I am transgender. Mainly that I'm transgender. Not so fun. But I still try to have fun, so whatever. You know, I literally tried so hard to be in denial of the fact that I was transgender that I tried to glorify being a girl for so long that me coming to terms with the fact that I was in a place as an adult where I have a car that I can lock myself in to protect myself, that I was safe enough to come out as transgender, which is a long story. Where was I going with that? What the fuck was I saying? That's also why I'm not on testosterone, because that happened recently, though. I was saying something about the process of me coming to terms with that. Oh yeah, I happen to have just like I'm just gonna like say this out of nowhere, that I have alters that from when I was a preteen, or like early teenage, like a preteen, of just that glorify being a girl. So it was so fun, you know. It was fun for like child versions of myself to just like hang out as an adult in an adult body, and just like kick it, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, that was like a huge obstacle for some reason. And it was like an obstacle I put in my own head in a way, I think. I don't even know why I'm talking about this. It's an LGBT support group. Q support group. What's crazy is, like, I'm 22 now. I was staying at a hotel. And it was like meeting like with a different version of yourself. Like if you imagine yourself meeting yourself face to face and it's also you. It was a really weird experience, but it's like this like 12 like little girl. Good at makeup. I did my hair and just had like a huge attitude. Like I got the impression, like I guess I was like, you totally hung out with my big sister. I would bet. I don't know, for some reason it stuck in my head about it. But she was just chill. It was like hanging out with a different person that's really, really chill to hang out with. It was really fucking weird. And, you know, like, I feel like at that age, I'm not the only person. Like, I was just having fun at, like, a hotel. That's all I'm gonna say about that. But yeah, like, just, I wanted to bring it out of myself in a way, too. It's just, like, there was parts of myself that liked being a girl and glorified it. And that was, like, the beginning parts of, like, even right before puberty. Like, the beginning parts of my journey in figuring out who I am, which is transgender. Like trying to be okay with being a female, or maybe whatever you're born as. I can only speak for myself, so that's what I am, so I'm speaking for myself. So I tried, and it was like, yeah, I look great in makeup. Yeah, all of this stuff, like, and the facts still remain, but it's like, I don't know, ultimately, it's just not who I am. Like, sexually, either. Like, I'm gonna be fully honest, like, sexuality comes into play with it, because, like I said, like, I'm just gonna put it this way. Because I already said it, like, I went through puberty, and I imagined myself as a guy, too, and stuff like that. Like, either way. Actually, either way. Like, I would think about girls, too, but, like, I actually, unless I was, like, thinking, like, okay, so I would think about, like, real life situations. And I might think about myself as a girl, because that's just how I presented myself at the time. That's what I was born as, so whatever. But, like, when my imagination would drift, or it would be unrealistic anyway in my mind, like, yeah, I would think about myself as a guy. And before that, I mean, I would try to make it work. I could be like, okay, this is actually really, like, pure. When I was, like, in 5th grade, I was really into, like old England, because of, like, castles and dragons and stuff. And those were the books available. So I read some books like that. And I would, like, daydream. I would daydream about being, like, a knight. And actually, there would come points where I would think about, like a princess. And I would try to be, like, I remember, like, trying to be, like, when I was in, like, 5th grade, I would be, like, a girl could be that for another girl, because I was a girl. But then my hormones kicked in, like, puberty kicked in, and it turned into, like, hornier daydreams, and I imagined myself as a guy. I don't think I've ever told anybody any of that, so this is exclusive right here. That's true, like, I didn't even want to just give, like, a fake example, like, I just had to tell it like it is. I had countless other daydreams, but, like, I don't know. That looks good. Wow. That looks good. Y'all see this bandana? That's crazy. That looks crazy good. Oh my god. too young to be in love by hunks and his punks. This video is an hour long. Goodbye.